federal level stimulus check are back on the table in Congress for consideration. We are hearing right now in the House and in the Senate, and along with also child tax credits, getting rid of student loan debt. All of those provisions coming back just recently as we are approaching midterm election, and this your stimulus check updates, stimulus package update and printing news update. As we are hearing from Democrats, as they are saying they are pointing a way to get things done, I'm going to cover everything that's unfolding. And also, we are going to be hearing from Republicans and Elon Musk that is saying no. You cannot vote for Democrats. They are not getting things done. They are saying they are running the economy into the ground, and it's time for them to switch over the power to Republicans. And his entire life he has voted Democrat. But in this midterm election, he's going to be voting Republican. But take a look at some of these headlines coming out with inflation at a 40-year high foot and fuel family savings up with millions America $600 used more only for food and gas. So, which is coming out in the Senate, a federal level stimulus check for all low-income individuals. In addition to that, in the House, we have a proposal for a federal level check as well. Republicans representatives asked for $1,000 stimulus for all Americans. And they are saying that we should send this out instead of sending out more funding to Ukraine. They said have our Americans here domestically. As we are facing economic issues, we are hearing that this is likely going to be needed as right now their prices are skyrocketing and they are not coming down anytime soon. With the war that's happening in Ukraine, this is going to cause further inflation and increase food prices as well. And also, the House of Representatives just passed a $28 million bill. This could provide emergency funds to address baby formula shortages. And we have even heard calls for baby formula stimulus checks and monthly checks to help our parents get some additional funds. A new wave of the pandemic might be on display in the US and might face a necessity that's from the pandemic if Congress falls to pass more funding a bill to help out with vaccines and therapeutics. We are hearing that a lot of direct assistance may be coming our way in the form of more stimulus. If they can't pass legislation, President Joe Biden is taking into consideration executive orders and actions to help out Biden to meet with Democratic leaders on student loan debt. And he's saying this is the first of many provisions to come. And we're hearing that it could be coming here in a couple of weeks. We've got video footage from Democrats and Republicans. We are going to hear Republicans and Elon Musk and what they think about everything going on with our country. Why no folks are concerned about inflation? I come from a family and I mean this similar to most of you, where the price of gasoline went up significantly. President Biden last week spoke to union workers in Chicago about his family's own personal struggles with inflation. At a closed-door meeting of House Democrats earlier this month, Congresswoman Katie Hoyer of California also shared her own experiences with rising costs as one of the 4 single parents currently serving in Congress. It tells me when you first really saw the impact on inflation on your own family and what you are hearing from your constituents. During the pandemic, you would all experience going to the grocery store. Sometimes things wouldn't be on the shelf, but it's really been over the last 6 months, maybe 9 months, that I've noticed it in the grocery store. But how much of this problem can Washington really control? Inflation has several causes at this moment, and it's going to take several solutions to do it. And one of the things that we are seeing is Democrats are trying to make efforts to make inroads in addressing inflation. And we are doing that by directly tackling price going at the bump with a bill that I have with Congresswoman Kim Steyer that the House is going to vote on this week to straight back at price going at the bump. We also were working on addressing issues relating to food production and issues relating to baby formula. And so, it's going to take backlash changes in monetary policy plus, frankly, sometimes for us to get over the pandemic to get inflation back, where we want to see it for a healthy, strong economy. Good morning, investment. It's great to have you with us this morning. I'm glad you mentioned baby formula. You've been so good over the years at looking out for consumers. I'm curious what more can be done. They're going to open up this other not struck a deal yesterday to do that. But that means with months, even down the road that we'll see formula on sales. So, what is your message to a mother and a father sitting out there right now that we are having to mix things together to kind of create our own formula? When will it be back on the shelves? Well, I think what the White House has done here is an act very quickly, and I think we are going to see some of that press release fairly quickly. Congress is also going to move some bills this week to help, but I have questions about why we allow the FDA to leave this plan shut down for such a long period, and why we are not better monitoring the potential shortages that occur when having things like a plan go offline. So, I think we need to do a better job in the administration and in Congress of monitoring the supply chain shortages and getting ahead of them. The bottom line for Americans, they're busy, they're looking at the cost of gas and the cost of their groceries, and I think there's a concern that Democrats will say, well, we'll have the solution. We can't have the solution to a problem that has so many conflicting factors to it, some of them uncontrollable. So, within that reality, how do Democrats measure effectively on this? Well, I think Democrats need to be talking about inflation and so that we are putting forward solutions and we are delivering on them. There's no magic thing to do about inflation. We took votes last week on the Competes Act a few weeks ago. What Republicans are doing is just complaining about inflation, and the Democrats are trying to do something about it. It's a complex process, but we are in action for the American people. We hear that Democrats are taking action trying to get things done and Republicans are not no on show. Let's hear the latest from Republicans and what their thoughts are on all of this approach. All the while US gasoline prices hitting another all-time high today at $4.56 a gallon nationwide. There's not one state with average prices under $4 diesel price. Is that a new record as well? $5.57 a gallon. That's hurting farmers from coast to coast everywhere. And where do nearly 9 out of 10 Americans think this economy is going straight into a recession in the next year? Joining me now is Republican Florida's Mayor Rick Scott. So, what do you make of the market, gasoline prices, inflation, and the direction of this country? It's horrible. I mean, since Biden got elected, inflation has gone up almost every month at 8.3%. Producer price index is up 11%. This stuff is like the highest in 40 years. We've got the GDP down. Now we've got the stock market down, labor participation down. There's nothing that the Biden administration is doing to fix this economy. When you think about what Americans want, they want a steady job, they want steady prices, they want a good education system, and they want to be safe. The Biden administration is not been responding to this, and now a few of you are fully for these months that can't even get baby formula in the United States of America. And so Biden basically doesn't do anything about it. It doesn't make any sense what's going on though. On that note, the position of the Biden administration seems to be alienate, castigate, and blame company and the people who founded them and who run them for every imaginable problem. Then they were on the outside and open hostility to those who are prosperous. And I point to the country's richest man shooting the world's richest man, one of our rated modern-day entrepreneurs, a long-time Democrat voter who has turned his back on his White House and Democrat Party. Here's Elon Musk. I have voted overwhelmingly for Democrats, Historically, like I'm not sure I might never have voted for a Republican. What do you make of that, Senator? I think every American is thinking this way. How come what this administration is doing is just bad for all American families? I agree with Elon Musk. You can't vote for Democrats right now, but you are voting for a hard racist and strategist. First of the Biden administration is all acts like an artist. They always put their hat in the sand and don't do anything. Everybody and business are responsible. And by the way, I'm from Florida. Here's the latest. They are trying to appease Cuba, the dictatorship in Cuba and Venezuela, and they warrant Venezuelan oil, but not Texas oil. I mean, you can't make any of this stuff up. The radical left completely controls Biden, or that's who he is.